Welcome back to MDL Crochets. Tips, tricks, and item makes. Today is a tip, or it could be a trick. And it's decrease and increase in Tunisian. I used a simple stitch, but this method can be worked in a variety of stitches. And it takes you and it decreases, and then you can increase. I didn't close this off properly because I just wanted to get this out there so you guys can know how to decrease and increase, because there's going to be some item makes that are going to require increases and decreases. But this is how you will do it in this tutorial. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do an increase and decrease. Now with the increase decrease, we're going to start with the decrease first. I'm just using it on the Tunisian simple stitch so you can see. Now we don't count this bar. We won't be going through this. So how we're going to do a decrease is you're going to go through like you normally would with a simple stitch, but you're going to go through 2, and then you're going to pull up a loop. That's called Tunisian simple stitch 2 together. And then you're going to work your way down until you get to the close to the end. And this is where it's going to change. Normally we would go to the end, drop down, and do the sidebar. Well, we're doing decreases, and depending on the pattern you're doing, the pattern instructions will be in there of how to do a decrease that they're wanting you to do. This is just a standard decrease, so you have to go through that loop and then just go through the loop. You're not bending to go through 2, you're just going through the front loop, and then you're pulling up 1. Now we just took off 2 loops. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I had 15. So we'll do a standard return pass. So chain 1, pull through 2. And then we're going to do it again. Go through 2, yarn over, pull up, and then continue your normal pull-ups for your loops for Tunisian simple stitch. And then at the end again, we're going to go through 1 and 2, and then pull up a loop. And you can see it decreasing. You can see the lines, you can see the line it slanting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we're going to, since we've got the loop pulled up, we're going to chain 1 and then pull through 2. And you'll do the decrease where the pattern indicates, or where you want it. If you want it in the middle, you can do it in the middle. Just be careful, because you're going to be ending up with lines like this where they're starting to merge. So if you don't want your lines merging like this, then the middle would be, it'll pull everything in. I'll do a few in the middle, and then we'll go on to the next. What we're going to do, I'm going to leave this here. We're going to go into the middle. We'll do it. I'm going to put a marker where we're going to do it, so that way we can see the difference. So we're going to start it here, and we're just going to go through 2. And then we're just going to keep going and do your normal. Even at the end, we're going to still do the normal. Fold over and just pull up a loop, chain one, return pass is normal, standard return pass. We're going to pull up our loops again. And here's where we did it. So depending on how you want your lean to go, we're going to go ahead and go through these two. Okay, because you can start seeing your line. You can see the line of where it's slanting. And then just do the simple stitch two together, and then just continue with the normal simple stitch. Normal end stitch, pull up a loop, chain one, and then pull yarn over and pull through two all the way till the end. We'll do one more so you can see the difference of the three different placed decreases. And then we got three on our loop hook, and then we're going to go through these two and continue pulling up. Normal end closure. And standard return pass. But you can see where the difference is. How that one still kind of, it's still going in. The decrease on the outside, the last stitch, is a lot smoother than the decreases here, because you can see where they merge and then they merge, and that's where we stopped because we started doing the decrease here to show the difference. So there's three different ways you can do that decrease. Now you can do a decrease also in the return pass, and I'll show that. So let's go ahead and pull up every loop. We got our loops on. So what we're going to do is, we just went through the first one, so we're going to move this up because we're going to show, I'm going to show you about where we're going to do the next pull through for the pull through the return pass decrease. Now what you'll yarn over, and then you'll go through that one and like you normally would, but then add one more to it, and then you just keep returning. So you have one, pull up your loops, and this is how you're going to handle this. So just stitch these two together, and that's how you'll do it. You pull these two together, so you're going to stitch them together. So you just go through both like we have been doing for normal decrease, and you pull up your stitch. And you can do it that way. There's a few ways you can do the decrease. Now when we're going to get there, we're going to stitch these two together. You see that? We went through, instead of yarn over, pull through 2, we yarn over, pull through 3, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 till the end. And that's how you can do that type of decrease. So there's a few ways you can do decreasing. But now let's get to increasing. Alright, so I have 6 loops or 6 stitches. Now we want to increase, right? So how are we going to increase? There are several ways we can increase. And we can increase by this method. You see the gap. We're going to just go right through it like we would do for a full stitch. Just pull it up and then do the normal simple stitch. This method works with almost every stitch there is except for the full stitch. It could work for the full stitch, however, it's going to create more of a headache. Now we're at the end. We haven't done our end right. So we're going to go through the gap that the end creates, right? And pull up another full stitch stitch. And then just do our normal row closer. Yarn over. Pull through chain 1. Yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Alright, I'm pulling through. Last down. Now I had 6, so we should have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8. And we're going to do that one more time. So you're going to go through the gap between your first stitch, the first vertical bar, and the second. Just go through the gap. Sometimes it's going to be a little tight, especially with doing it this way. And then pick up the stitches as normal till we get close to the end. And we're almost at the end, so we're going to open this up a little bit because it's going to be a little tight because of the way we went through the gap. So go through the gap and pull up another full stitch, and then you're going to do your normal row closure. Pull up that loop, chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2. And we should be back. We should be up to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now here is another method. This method tells us to work through this bar, which is the back bar, because you have your front bar here, and then you have your back bar. So you pull up your back bar and just do a simple stitch, and then go to the front bar, do a simple stitch, and you do that, and then when we get to the end, that one's going to be a little tricky. So with the back, with the end one, you know, right here on this side V that we always go through, there's always a back loop. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get that back loop isolated a little bit. So one way you can do that is try to open it up as best as you can. It's going to be a little snug in there, and you can see the back loop right now. So take your needle just through the loop, just through the gap. Take your needle, turn your needle a little bit to where it grabs that. And you got it. Pull up a loop. And then bend down. Now this is where it's going to get a little crazy as well. It's going to be a little tight. And then go through your normal end. And then chain 1. Yarn over. And pull through 2. Now that's another way to do it. And then there's one more way to do an increase. And let's make sure we did our increases right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So this way is a yarn over in front, and then go to the next stitch and pull up your normal loops. And you'll do that all the way down. This is the more simpler method of increasing. Alright, we're almost to the end. So you will yarn in front. And then just do our normal enclosure. Pull up a loop. Yarn over. Chain 1. So it'll be a little snug in there. Yarn over and pull through 2 all the way down to the end. And remember, you got that yarn over, so you got to be careful with it. That yarn over can be a little tricky to get through. We are. And that's how you increase and decrease. Most of these increase and decreases that I've shown can be used on most stitches. And if you found this tutorial very helpful, please leave me a like and a subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And leave me a comment. I chit-chat a lot, so I will respond and we can talk. But until then, folks, keep stitching.